My name is Robert Koch, Guo Yaowen. I'm a councillor at the City of Sydney, Australia. I'm here for the Smart China Expo, representing the City of Sydney.
Councilor Koch, so as you are attending the Smart China Expo 2019, right? And is there anything that you pay most attention to want to get something from information useful things from this expo? So in what areas you pay most attention?
Right. This expo, I was very impressed, and I still am very impressed as I walk around the expo to look at it and then enjoy what it has to offer. Initially, at this beginning, it is the exchanges between the many cities and the participants. I'm very impressed also by the number of participants, high-level participants that has come here, the high-tech companies that are here participating in this expo. It really showcases what China has to offer, and also opening up to other countries to participate. In Australia, of course, we participate here in this expo as well. So later at the round table, the mayor's round table, I would also be discussing what Sydney is doing in terms of our smart city and digital strategy.
I see. So in this scenario, because you mentioned Sydney is also touch upon the topic of smart city, right?
Yes.
And in this area, Chongqing is also working towards that. Are there like projects or some already cooperations taking place in this area, or maybe potentially cooperation in this area? Could you tell us more about that?
Well, I think the digital technology and also smart cities, this is the way forward in the future. We are also developing our strategies for digital and smart cities. So of course we're open to learn from the experiences of Chongqing and how we can collaborate together. And also the universities like the University of Sydney, the oldest university in Australia, also has a department which is doing research on smart cities.
Do you think this event, this Smart China Expo, will facilitate the cooperation between Sydney and Chongqing in the intelligent industry? And if yes, how?
Well, Sydney is home to one of the largest, if not the largest, startup hubs in the world, and there are many innovations and new startups that are very keen on smart city innovations and technologies. So I think this expo, and as well as our relationship with Chongqing, which dates back to 2010 when Chongqing came to participate in our Chinese New Year festival, one of the largest outside of Asia. So Chongqing sent about 400 participants to come and participate in this cultural exchange. Here now we are looking at digital exchange. And it has changed a lot in terms of over the years. So I think there are many areas that we can collaborate in, and I'm looking forward to facilitating that for our city and with Chongqing.
I see. So have you spent time to stay around the pavilions yet, like the display of all these smart technologies, and what's your impression on that?
Yes, I have actually, but not everything. I mean, this is so big. I mean, this is just mind-boggling, the size of this exhibition center. And I think it will take me more than a day or two to walk around and really look at everything in detail. So I was really impressed by all the stands and all the booths by the different countries and the different companies as well. Of course, the one thing that really stands out is also the AI and robotics, which I think is the future, and especially that for in the medical sector, in the health and medical sector. So it is very magnificent expo. I think one of the largest, one of the best I've ever seen.
I see. So in the future, let's say, right? So the cooperation between Sydney and Chongqing, do you think, because you're already involved in the two cities exchanges for a long time, right?
Yeah.
So can you tell us more about the trend, in the future trend, how the ties will go further, and what cooperations will happen more in what areas? Yeah.
Well, initially we started with cultural exchanges between the two cities, learning about each other's culture. I think that will still continue on because cross-cultural awareness brings forth greater understanding of each other's culture. And from there, I think it will lead on now to some smart city, high-tech digital era, where the young people, the younger generation, and there are many startups in our city that focuses on digital technology. That will be the area where the exchanges will happen and will take place. So that is one thing that will be very exciting for our cities, learning from each other, because the city of Sydney, we are very much focused on community, how to engage with our local community and how to engage with our local businesses, which something that we are very good at. So I think this is one area we can have exchanges in as well, where Chongqing is very good in implementing the policies and implementing the technologies that come up. So this is one area I think we're looking forward to.
Could you give us more detail about about learning each other, right? So do you think what experiences like Sydney can draw from Chongqing and what Chongqing can draw from Sydney?
Right. I think drawing from Sydney is how we do community consultation, how we go out to our community groups and ask them, what do you think is important to you in the future? Would you like to see more electric cars or electric charge points around for the cars? How do you like to see the city develop renewables or solar energy? And this is the area we are good at, to consult and to engage with our residents. Chongqing is very good in implementing the technology, putting it to use, and putting it to use in the city, and putting it to use around in the different buildings, and how they put that in such a good way. So how we can learn from that. Sydney can learn from how do you put this technology to use.